Thanks, Philip, for the great presentation. So let's talk about the highlights for Jakarta E in terms of conferences this year. We had a strong presence at face-to-face events as compared to the past 2-3 years. We had the second Jakarta E track at DevNexus with 10 talks. We had the first open community for Java at OCX with over 20 Java related talks. But what is your take, Ivar, on our event presence this year?
So I think it's been excellent. Like you said, teaming up with these events and being there with our own track. Both of them are very good example for how we can cooperate with the community to get good content on the conference. And as you mentioned, the Jakarta E track at Nexus was a success. We've done it twice, and we're doing it again. So next year we will be back at Nexus with a Jakarta E track. Some of the talks are already published on the website, and there are more coming soon.
Yes. And in addition to these larger scale face-to-face events, we also had a booth at several other conferences, JCon, JavaLand, DevVCN. So if you are attending any of these events next year, make sure to stop by at our booth and talk to us.
Yes, and at the booth, that's where you get the good swag.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, and in addition to being at booths and having practice conferences, we're also out there speaking at conferences. So we've been speaking at conferences all over the world this year, on all continents. We haven't been in Australia yet.
Oh yes.
But yeah, we are in most corners of the world speaking at conferences. And also, as you probably know, we do the run with Jakarta E when we're out there.
That's a big thing.
Yes, I have these great T-shirts I usually bring along, and if you want to have a run with me before the conference, then just
that would be great.
Yeah.
But we also have a video of the Jakarta E presence at the conferences. So let's take a look. So in addition to the face-to-face conferences, we also have JakartaOne live stream events in specific languages throughout the year, which is an open invitation for community members to express interest in hosting these live streams in specific languages. But this year we had one in Chinese and one in Portuguese. Or if you want to join and be a part of our events, we also have the Jakarta TechTalk webinar series. So make sure to submit a talk or present a talk.
Yeah, and to help you I will show you how to get involved in these JakartaOne live streams or attend or present a talk in the Tech Talks. We have created this short video for you.
I want to welcome you all to yet another JakartaOne Livestream conference.
中创中间件基础中间件产品的研发，我是从08年
Auf der Cloud-Trend im Phantasialand das Publikum und auch
Originalmente Java nació como Java 2 Enterprise
そうです
Edition.
ね、このイベントを始める前にあたってですね、少し、皆様に、事務局語側からのですね、
aqui, galera. Vocês estão aí no chat, ajuda a gente aí.
Ajuda a gente, pessoal. Aqui, ó, a gente não estamos numa sala.
Presentation Eclipse loves Java.
Exceptional conditions in enterprise Java applications.
View of the updated specifications with some demos.
Database, relational database is amazing. It's not deprecated at all.
I'm going to be running through the code as this is happening. Okay, I'll explain what I'm doing here. So
Free to use the chats to write where you're from and write your questions and everything while I am presenting this.
So let's shift gears a bit, Ivar. What's the next topic?
Yeah, so MicroProfile released a new version this year, and I had a chat with Emily Young about it. So let's look at that recording. Hi, everybody. I'm here with my good friend Emily. And Emily, why don't you introduce yourself to those that don't know you?
Hi Eva, hi everybody. I'm Emily Jiang. I work for IBM. I'm the cloud native architect and advocate for IBM. I mainly work on open source projects, MicroProfile, Open Liberty, and JakartaOne. So in IBM, I also lead teams to implement MicroProfile specifications as well. As you can see, I'm a big fan for MicroProfile and JakartaOne.
Yeah, that's very amazing. And MicroProfile 7 was released earlier this year. And can you tell us a little bit about what's exciting about this release?
The most exciting thing is MicroProfile fully embrace open telemetry. So in the kind of the previous releases of MicroProfile, we brought in the open telemetry tracing. In MicroProfile 7.0, so we brought in open telemetry, logs and metrics and tracing. So it's all three pillars for observability in one place. And with this, and then we moved the MicroProfile metrics to be a standalone specifications. And if you want to use the MicroProfile metrics, and then you can just directly add on top of MicroProfile 7, it will also work. With that, because fault tolerance previously integrated with MicroProfile metrics, now it's kind of in this MicroProfile 7 release, MicroProfile fault tolerance also did new release to basically it's work with MicroProfile telemetry 2.0 as well.
Yeah. So to recap, you took the metric specification and moved it out of the umbrella, and you added open telemetry, which replaces it and adds a lot of more functionality as well.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, that's pretty cool. So, and you also mentioned the fault tolerance that had to be updated to support open telemetry. Are there any other updates in fault tolerance, or was just that an alignment this time?
Yeah, so for the fault tolerance, basically it's added a section to for this all the matrices. So metrics like when basically it's MicroProfile fault tolerance in work with MicroProfile open MicroProfile telemetry, what kind of metrics it will give you. So this is this is about MicroProfile for tolerance. Also, we did basically update on the MicroProfile REST client, and also slight update on the MicroProfile config as well.
Yeah. So and I guess you also did a update for MicroProfile Open API for this release.
Oh, yes.
And is there any specific changes there you would like to add?
So for MicroProfile Open API, so basically it's we embrace the Open API standard. So it's previously it's kind of Open API kind of the version 3.0, and now we kind of adopt Open API 3.1. So with this, basically, so we did kind of the update on MicroProfile Open API.
Yeah, so that was a sort of a maintenance update to support a newer version of the API.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and for REST client, you mentioned that also, but whether I see that one thing was to align it with the Jakarta E10 version of Jakarta RESTful Web Services, which is 3.1. Are there any other changes, or was this also just an alignment with the core profile?
Yes, apart from the alignment with the core profile, MicroProfile REST client has a couple minor update improvement on the API as well. Yeah,
that's pretty cool. So that was, now we've sort of covered the basic of the specifications that were updated, and I noticed, of course, Open Liberty is an compatible implementation. So when are you expecting other implementations to support MicroProfile 7?
I'm hoping like Quarkus, and also hoping Payara will also implement 7.0. Also, it's kind of the some other runtime as well.
Yes. Yeah, that's it sounds like a pretty good upgrade in terms of getting the open telemetry supports, and the other specifications are more or less maintenance updates to support this and to align with newer versions. So it's definitely a good release. Taking open telemetry has become so industry standard in our space.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's now it's pretty good. It's kind of on the dashboard, on the Grafana dashboard, and etc. And you can see all sorts of different kind of the observability kind of the stats, logs and metrics and tracing. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that sounds cool. So is there anything else you would like to add about this release?
Yeah, for this release, other things I would like to mention is previously, in the previous release, it's kind of MicroProfile built on top of the Jakarta E core profile. Previously, we basically, in the MicroProfile BOM, is we kind of also brought along the core profile. And from this release, we made the MicroProfile and core profile loosely coupled. So we only specify the minimum of the Jakarta E core profile version. So which means like in MicroProfile 7, we said, okay, the minimum is E10. So it will work with E11 as well. We already proved it's kind of in Open Liberty, and we plan to basically make a basically like when Jakarta E11 is released, and we want MicroProfile 7 actually also work with Jakarta E11 core profile. So this is pretty cool because we don't need to do another new MicroProfile release, and as long as Jakarta E11 is out, it's immediately. So you can use MicroProfile 7 together with Jakarta E specifications. So this is very, very powerful. Yeah.
Yeah, that is certainly a good thing for having other implementations supporting the newer MicroProfile specification and APIs. Are there any concerns around this for example, the application developer that moves between one implementation to another, and then suddenly there can be a different version of core profile underlying. Has that been discussed as well?
Yeah, I think it's pretty much in the MicroProfile, basically in the compatible implementations website, and then is for certifying against MicroProfile 7, you list which EE10 core profile you use. So with this is kind of, if you move among this kind of the runtime, support both EE10 and MicroProfile 7, and then you can move around. However, if you choose E11, you only can pick the runtime, support E11 together with MicroProfile 7.
Yeah, so it will be well documented on the webpage which
Yes.
implementation you can use. Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, we had a very long discussion and make sure like we don't confuse the end users, and also give this flexibility to the implementers as well. Because some implementers, maybe they directly support MicroProfile 7, but maybe it's in next year they might just go with E11. So in this case, they want to offer to their end users the latest technology, and then it's kind of they save them effort to basically support the previous version of the EE versions as well.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for having this chat with me. I feel now that I'm very updated on everything with MicroProfile 7.0, and I look forward to see it being used out there. So thank you very much for joining me, and
Yeah,
I'll see you again.
Yes, see you again.
So let's move to the next talk by Matt Pavlovich, Migrating Active MQ to Jakarta EE. Let's hear it from Matt.